we ready? Yes. All right. We're here at the Alamo Dome inside of the Illusions Theater, and we're talking to Thomas Troutman. Thomas Troutman is a member of the world famous Troutmans out of Dayton, Ohio, and they're performing in San Antonio tonight. Hey, Thomas.
Hello, hello, hello.
Nice meeting you.
You as well.
And I'm so excited because you're like a new generation of Zap.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been performing with Zap?
I've been performing with the group for 8 years. So since my junior year in high school, I've been touring all over the world.
Oh, wow. But you have your own project.
I do.
Let's talk about your project. Now, your music is a little different than Zap's. How would you describe your music?
I would describe it as urban pop. I really love the pop sound, the newer music, and the way that I can captivate my generation with the beats and the undertones and the pop vocals, but I also love that old school R&B feel. So just putting those together and calling it urban pop, that's the genre.
So, do you do any of your music within the Zap show?
I do not, but I'm looking forward to that. Definitely in this year with the new project, with Battlefield. And
Right.
just pushing that album, I definitely want to get in front of the audiences that we're playing for, because a lot of my fan base has grown from being on tour with Zap and, from the old school lovers of Zap, the whole
Right.
Zap Nation, they enjoy what I'm doing as the next generation, and their kids and, the younger Zap fans are kind of flocking to my music because I am, a little bit easier to relate to them.
Right. So, let's talk about Battlefield.
Battlefield.
Let's talk
Well,
about it.
what do you want to know about Battlefield?
Tell me everything there is to know about Battlefield.
Okay, so I started working on that album in 2013. Actually, I was in San Jose, and I called my brother Just Right, who is the co-write, and I was just there. I said, "Hey, I'm ready to write a record," and we talked on the phone for probably an hour, and I told him, where I was, and that it had been, at that time, it had been 2.5 years since I put out my first album, Pressure, and so, we talked about it. As soon as I got off the road, we got right to work. I think we pushed out the album, we wrote the album, recorded the songs in about 3 weeks. And so once the album was done and recorded, I started working with a few people. I had a team, and we started working on some music videos and on different events, and kind of fell apart with that team. It was just like, I'm not feeling your spirit, your vibe. So, I worked with a different team after that, and this was in about 2015. So at that point, I had a more solid team, and we put out the single "Picture Perfect" on my birthday, which was my 23rd birthday on March 7th, 2015. The single came out, and then I just took a year off of music because that team still, didn't fit the spirit. And I think this past summer in 2016 is when I was really ready to come back to music and give it my all and really put my dedication, because I've had some years to kind of meditate on the music, and it's just like, okay, this is the time. The lyrical content makes more sense. Where we are in our world and our country makes more sense to what Battlefield is about. And so to be able to put it out now, I think it's better. It was in God's timing.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everything has its time, and we have to understand that it's not ours. It is God's timing.
It is.
So perfect timing.
Definitely, and just when I think about the body of work and what I'm saying, there's a lot of love songs,
Right.
and there's a few controversial like anthems like "Tired" and the actual title track "Battlefield," but it just talks about exactly what's going on in the world with the natural realm and the spiritual realm.
Right.
We're facing a lot of different adversity, whether it be lust or spiritual warfare, where people are unsure which way to bat.
Right.
And they're like, well,
Right.
the world is throwing all of this at me, and if I'm set apart, I'm different from everyone, then they're going to talk about me. But I'm here to be that voice that says it doesn't matter what they're saying. Now it's rebellious for us to do the right thing,
Right.
because everybody is not wanting to do the right thing. So
Right. Right.
a lot of those lyrics, a lot of the energy behind Battlefield stems from that.
Okay. So you're a solo act, right? So do you think in the future that you'll pull in some other family members
Well,
and become a Zap Junior?
yeah, well, I love my family. I love my dad. I love my uncles. But, as far as being Zap Jr., I don't really want to go that route. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm going to always pay homage to
Yeah.
my legacy,
Oh, yeah.
to my family, because that's where the gift came from. That's where
Uh-huh.
the love for music came from, was from my family. But I want people to know who I am as an artist.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
a lot of people expect me to do like gospel music or to play the voice box. It's like, no, I'm a performer before
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
So, I want people to hear my voice. I want them to hear my message from my natural voice. And
Mhm.
I'll pick up the talk box or throw a little auto tune on there just to pay homage to that.
Mhm.
But actually, on the Battlefield album, I have 3 features, and all of the features are my family. So the single,
Oh,
which
okay.
is one of my favorite songs on the album, Picture Perfect, features my father, Zap. And then this one is a hit, which is like the upbeat, it's real urban, like hip hop banger. It features my cousin Krishan, who is actually on the road with us. He does the light. So
Oh, okay.
that guy right back there
Oh,
is
okay.
rapping on the song. This
Okay.
one is a hit. And then I have another cousin of mine. His name is Jamal. He goes by Molly, and he is featured on the song When I Miss You. So, all throughout the
Okay.
album, it's still a family affair with the
Yeah.
features. And then my cousin Lester Jr., who is a Zap road manager, he did a lot of the mixing and some of the engineering on the album. And, we work together. So everything still
Yeah.
happens in the family.
Well, that's
But,
good because the Troutman name in Dayton is a big name.
yeah, absolutely.
And it's always been one
Absolutely.
because y'all always given back to the community,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing. And I'm sure that with you stepping out front now, that's going to continue.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things for me as an artist and just as an individual is that I want to give back. And the only reason why I was interested in music, not just because, my family, that's, what made them known
Right.
across the country and in the city, but giving back to people, especially, the younger generation, people who are my age, in their
Right.
early 20s and, teenagers. Like, I want to reach that demographic because I've been through what they're going through. And I have a community outreach nonprofit organization, Dayton Dance Workshop, which is, geared toward families because I'm a dancer as well, trained
Yeah,
contemporary modern hip hop dancer. And so that's the way that I've been able to give back to the community, is by bringing some life to the arts.
Right.
Because I think we're losing that in the black community a lot. Our kids are kind of being deprived of
Right.
the things that stimulated my mind at that age in elementary and middle and high school. So always giving back.
Yeah. With your dance, mentioning your dance, have you incorporated any of your dance moves?
Into the Zap Show, absolutely. I actually, when I came into the group, I worked with our musical director, Mr. Dale DeGroat, and all of the choreography that you see on stage is a combination of my work and his work, kind of put
Okay.
together. Some of the old school, like traditional Zap steps that have been around for 20 or 30 years, just with a modern twist, and bringing that youthful energy is kind of
Yeah.
my goal here.
Yeah.
I ooze energy, and it's natural. Like, it just comes natural. It's an anointing, and I want people to feel my gift. I don't
Yeah.
want them to see me. I want to be invisible when
Yeah.
I'm on stage. I want
Yeah.
people to really just feel that energy because it comes directly from the Most High, and it just comes through me. So
Right.
I'm the vessel.
Right. Well, I'm excited about seeing you. I was excited to find out that there was a younger Troutman,
Right?
and I'm so looking forward to seeing you perform tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And for those who are not familiar with Thomas Troutman,
Yes.
what would you say to those people?
I would say put your seatbelt on, because if you love Zap, if you love Roger Troutman, I am the next generation, and I'm going to keep that music coming. I'm going to keep the positive messages coming, and I want to come back to San Antonio and Dallas and LA and really give you an experience, because even better than the music, I'm a live performer.
Yeah.
And so when you come to my show, you're going to receive an experience, and it's something that I don't think you can really compare to anything, because I don't
Right.
want to be anyone else. Of course, I have influences,
Right.
but I want
right.
people to know Thomas Troutman is that energy with the positive message.
Right. Now, speaking of influences, besides your family, do you have any others?
I do. One of my favorite artists since I was probably 7 or 8 years old has been Usher. Like, I love the sounds. I love his music, and I love him as a performer. And Janet Jackson, surprisingly, a lot of people are like, you're a male artist, but Janet, her show,
Yeah.
man, like I love Janet, I love Michael. I love Michael because he was a great dancer, great musician,
Right.
a great ear vocalist. But Janet put on a show.
Yeah.
Like she told a story with every show that she's ever done. And I've studied her, and having the background dancers and the art pieces. So definitely Usher, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Bruno Mars. So a lot of those big, R&B and pop artists. That's what I
Yeah.
look up to.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want us to know about
Well,
Thomas
I
Troutman?
want you to go download, buy, stream that Battlefield album. You can get it in every digital store you can think of: iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Tidal, whatever you use, wherever you stream your music, wherever you buy your music, go get the Battlefield album. And you can like me on Facebook, Thomas Troutman fan page, and follow me on Twitter at Thomas L. Troutman. And finally, Instagram. I'm trying to hit 10,000 by the summer. I think
Oh,
I'm
okay.
close to there. I think I need about 500 followers on Instagram. So
Oh, okay.
Instagram is the real Thomas Troutman. So that's the social media.
Okay, then it's out there now.
It's out
So
there.
you should have your 5,000 or 500 or however many you need really
Absolutely.
quick because I'm not on there. So I'll go and join just so I can connect.
Do it. Do
Yeah.
it.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to
Absolutely.
sit and talk to us. And
Absolutely.
looking forward to a really hot show tonight. I know you guys are coming on last, but you know that old saying, save the best for
Save
last.
the best for last.
That's exactly what they're going to do. So
Absolutely.
we'll see you tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.